Hello and welcome to the Comeback Mechanics February 2025 Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. My name is Cody Hope, and I'm casting for you this final round feature match between Tiffany Sweet with her Jungle Beat grass deck and Alan Schultz with his colorful, colorless birds deck. The Comeback Mechanics are a competitive team based in Dallas, Texas, and this matchup is from our monthly GLC tournament. Some huge news for this month. We have partnered with Lone Star Pack Breaks in Carrollton, Texas, who have very generously provided prizing for this event. Everybody, please send some love to Lone Star Pack Breaks.
Join Lone Star Pack Breaks live on Twitch Wednesday through Friday nights to rip into the latest Pokemon sets in English and Japanese, plus One Piece, Weiss, Union Arena, Final Fantasy, and more. LSPB ships anywhere in the U.S. Or if you're local, choose in-store pickup at their shop in Carrollton, Texas. Pickup orders are usually ready 1 to 2 days after a stream. Plus, if you're a Pokemon player, don't miss their standard tournaments every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Check out the links below to get in on the action.
Thanks again to Lone Star Pack Breaks for sponsoring the team. Over to the decks now. Tiffany and Bidoof tag team are sitting over on your left, and they are playing a grass deck built around the Venusaur from Shining Legends, which has the Jungle Totem ability, which makes it so the grass energy attached to your Pokemon provide 2 grass instead. Alan is over on the right, and he is playing a birds deck. The big gimmick here is that every Pokemon in the deck is a bird. Tiffany has had to take a couple of mulligans, 3 here, so Alan is going to get to start with a bit of an extra strong hand here. He has opened on the Wingull, and then Tiff is going to be starting off with the Grookey. The Grookey is ultimately trying to end up as the Rillaboom, which has the Voltage Beat ability, where once per turn can search your deck for 2 grass energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon. So very, very powerful with the Venusaur as well. We see that Tiffany's going to be playing the Level Ball and using our Matty Map house rule, where the first time you search your deck, get to take a look over at the prizes. The reason why we do this, singleton format, sometimes prize checking can be quite time intensive. So by using this Matty Map, we like to increase the pace of play here. The Level Ball is going to get the Turtwig, and we're going to see an attach to the Grookey and a pass. No surprise to anyone here. The Turtwig is trying to evolve it into that Grotle, which Sundrenched Shell, very, very powerful for the grass archetype, and then eventually will become that Torterra, trying to take some big knockouts at the end of the game. Alan is going to be playing a Buddy Buddy Poffin, very, very strong start here. Is actually first, just going to do that Buddy, the Hisuian Heavy Ball. You know, let's just save a little bit of time here, right? Going to get that Fletchling out of the deck, and then we're going to do that Buddy Buddy Poffin, search for a couple of Pokemon. Notably here, I wonder if my favorite bird is going to make an appearance here. I bet it just might. Alan keeping those cards close to the chest, not letting me take a peek at what he is searching for here. But there are lots of options here in the deck. There is the Doduo. There is also Hoot Hoot, as well as, there it is, the Fan Rotom. My favorite bird. Drones are birds. Which has the very powerful Fan Call ability. So Alan's going to get to search his deck for 3 normal Pokemon with 100 or less HP and put it into his hand. And since we already have all of the basics in play, besides maybe the Hoot Hoot, so we could see Alan go for the Hoot Hoot, but no, instead just going to grab that Fletchinger and the Dodrio. Part of why this Fan Call ability is just so powerful is because Alan can find those evolution Pokemon as well. So he is able to get all of his basics in play, and now he has a lot of his stage 1 Pokemon in play. The fact that he didn't get the Hoot Hoot probably tells me that the Hoot Hoot is also sitting in the prizes. Oh no, the Hoot Hoot is in the hand. Makes a lot of sense to me. Let's talk about some of the evolutions that these Pokemon go into. The Fletching is trying to end up as the Talonflame, which has the Arrow Chase attack, does 110, but if the opponent's Pokemon has 2 or more retreat, actually does 220. And most notably here, for the grass deck, most of these Pokemon have 2 or 3 or even 4 retreat. So that Talonflame is going to be taking some knockouts if Alan can get it all set up here. Back over to Tiff's side, she's playing the Gloria, allowing her to search the deck for either 2 basic energy cards or 2 Pokemon. Or no, sorry, my mistake. Wrong card. I was thinking of the Sonia. Gloria, 3 basic Pokemon, put it onto the bench. And we are going to get the Roselia, the Shining Genesect, as well as the Bulbasaur. So once again, kind of getting those evolving Pokemon down into play. And the Shining Genesect is one of the best attackers in this deck. Kind of has that Hydro Pump style of attack, does extra damage based on the amount of grass energy attached to it. So if that Venusaur can get into play, the Gaia Blaster could be doing pretty much an infinite amount of damage if the setup happens. We are going to see that the Herbal Energy get attached here. Now you get to heal 30 damage when you attach it. Unfortunately, no damage onto it, but it does still provide a Grass Energy, so it will get doubled by the Venusaur. And then just going to see an attack from the Grookey. That is the Fury Swipes. Flipping 3 coins. 2 of them were heads, so going to deal 20 damage to that Wingull. Back over on Alan's side, he has evolved the Doduo into the Dodrio, and now we're going to see an Evolution Incense. I imagine we're going to see probably the Fletchinger, could see the Noctowl. Noctowl would be really good if Alan can get an attack off with it. The Noctowl has the Talon Hunt attack, does 70 damage, and you get to Starbirth, search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand. So that would be really nice if Alan could pull it off this turn, because not only would it knock out the Grookey, then he could search for something like Rare Candy, Talonflame, could search for some more energies. There's definitely a lot of options for Alan there, but notably, he's not running a Jet Energy in his deck, so he's got to hope that he's got something like a Scoop Up Net to get that Wingull out of the active spot. Otherwise, this Evolution Instance could just be going for the Fletchinger, could maybe even be going for the Pelipper if he is in desperate need of a supporter. Again, Alan has done a great job keeping things close to the chest. I have no idea what is in Alan's hand right now. And it's looking like it is going to be the Noctowl here. I do get a peek there. There is a double colorless energy, so we could be seeing a Noctowl attack this turn, which would be huge for Alan. He would get to really set up his board, get to take a knockout, get ahead in the prize race. And yeah, we're just going to see the Pelipper here, which has that Hearsay ability, allowing Alan to search his deck for a supporter card. Ooh, we could be seeing the Bird Keeper here, which would allow that Noctowl to get up into the active spot. That would be a very, very nice turn of events for Alan. Would really help set him up here. It is also looking like I see Rare Candy and Muscle Band at the front of the deck, so we could be maybe eyeing up an Arven. Could be an option as well. I also see he is eyeing up the Guzma as well. And yep, that Guzma has just flipped to the front of the deck. Definitely on Alan's mind. Could do the Guzma to pull up something like the Turtwig or the Bulbasaur. To knock out one of those Pokemon as well. Yep, definitely going for that Guzma. So, probably going to see an attack with the Noctowl here. Noctowl's not able to knock out the Genesect, but don't think that's really the Pokemon you want to be knocking out anyway. So, very, very nice for Alan here. Definitely gets to do whatever he wants to do. Already got his draw Pokemon set up in the Dodrio. Already got all of his basics in play. And gets to not only take a knockout, but just, man, fantastic. And already has the Fletchinger in his hand. Doesn't even need to find Rare Candy later. Just needs to find the Talonflame. Wow. Very, very, very strong start from Alan here. Got everything that he wants. So, unless Tiff can play something like an In or an Marnie, or maybe even an Iono, it's looking like Alan might just be able to do whatever he wants from here on out. And it is looking like Guzma's going after the Roselia. The Roselia evolves into Roserade, which when you evolve the Roserade from your hand, you get to search your deck for any card and put it into the hand. So Alan is definitely respecting the power that a tutor can have in this format. And so just going to take a prize card here. But before he looks at the prize card, very, very important. Good on Alan for not just grabbing that prize card and putting it in his hand. He does have to resolve the whole effect of the attack first. So going to search his deck for 2 cards and put it into his hand. I would imagine we're going to see probably the Talonflame, or could see an energy card as well. Something like that double turbo energy, or maybe twin energy as well. Makes a lot of sense. Could even see something like the Crispin, which I haven't talked about Alan's secondary strategy too much here. Is he is playing 3 basic energy, a fire, a grass, and a water. And that allows Alan to play 2 extremely powerful cards. The Raihan, which most normal decks don't have access to, so gets to accelerate that energy into play, search his deck for any card, and gets to search, and gets to play the Crispin, which allows you to take 2 energies of different types from your deck, put one onto a Pokemon, put the other in your hand. So because Alan is running just a couple basic energies, he gets access to some very, very powerful cards. I'm not going to be able to see what they are, but that's okay. We are going to see Boss's Orders from Tiff, going to pull up that Pelipper, and notably, the Pelipper has 2 retreat, so could stall Alan for just a turn or 2, which would be really, really nice. And then we're going to see TM Evolution come down onto the Genesect, and we're going to see that Evolution attack. So we're going to go into the Thwackey as well as the Grotle. Grotle has that Sundrent Shell ability, so now Tiffany is going to be able to start setting up her board. Back over on Alan's side here, time to see if he has a Bird Keeper or something similar here. Wow, Talonflame, who could have saw it coming? Coming down here, notably, cannot attack, doesn't have the energy it needs, and it's not in the active spot. I see the front card in Alan's hand is that Avery, I believe. Unfortunately, Avery isn't really going to do what Alan wants. There are only 3 Pokemon on Tiff's bench, so won't be limiting the bench size at all. Would just serve as a draw 3, but if you need to draw 3 cards, that's what you're going to do, right? Going to see the zooming draw 2 damage counters now on that Dodrio. It is dealing 70 damage. And we have found the Antique Old Amber. Antique Old Amber, very nice fossil card that evolves into the Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl might prove to be a very solid attacker in this matchup. It has that De-Evolution Ray attack, does 100 damage, and de-evolves the active Pokemon. And most of the Stage 2 and Stage 1 Pokemon in this deck do not survive 100 damage. So most of the time that Aerodactyl will be taking a big knockout here. The supporter for turn from Alan is going to be the Colress's Tenacity. It's going to allow him to search his deck for a Stadium as well as a special energy card. Now, notably, because Alan has made room for those basic energies, he does not play the Jet Energy. Jet Energy would be a great one to get that Noctowl back into the active spot, maybe even get the Fan Rotom into the active spot as well. In terms of stadiums, he's got 2 choices, Artisan and Parallel City. Artisan would be doing nothing for him and would be helping out Tiffany. So I imagine he's not grabbing it. So probably going to grab that Parallel City. Parallel City isn't going to knock any Pokemon out of play for Tiff, but it is going to stop her from benching any additional Pokemon. So definitely makes it worth grabbing here. And we see that energy is going to end up being the Double Turbo Energy. Provides 2 colorless energy, but reduces the damage done by 20. Now, good news, 200 damage on the Talonflame isn't... Oh, no, it's not even going to go on the Talonflame. It's going to go on the Pelipper, so we might see a retreat of the Pelipper here into the Noctowl, and then just another Starbirth. So very, very nice. We see the U-turn board. Alan's thinking about where to put it, and he has landed on the Dodrio. So now that Dodrio has free retreat, and so now Alan effectively has a pivot. So whenever Tiffany takes a knockout here, that Dodrio can go up. We can think about what we want to do with our turn, and then retreat into whatever Pokemon we decide. Alan's going to go up into the Noctowl. Not going to get to take a knockout on this Genesect. Just going to do 70 damage, but that is probably not even what we care about. We care about getting to search our deck for any 2 cards. So again, Alan has gotten to search his deck for 4 unique cards this game. That is just huge. It has allowed Alan to set up, and I bet he's probably going to find something like a Bird Keeper, probably going to find something like Versus Seeker maybe for Guzma. Alan is definitely going to make sure that he gets to attack on this next turn and take a Prize card. Back over on Tiffany's side. Not very many cards in the hand, only 3 cards in hand. So hopefully Tiffany has some kind of supporter. We see Colress, which Alan has 5 Pokemon in play. Tiffany has 3, so that would be a big 8 off of the Colress. So that is very, very nice. And notably, Alan's hand is getting very large here. So something like an In or a Marnie would be very nice as well. We're going to start off with Sundrent Shell, going to evolve up that Ivysaur into Venusaur. So now Jungle Beat is going to be online. We have both the Jungle Totem as well as the Voltage Beat. So now Tiffany can accelerate 2 energy into play with the Rillaboom, and then the Venusaur is going to double it to 4. So that is very, very nice. This Shining Genesect is going to be able to take a knockout on the Noctowl this turn. So very nice. And then the good news is now that both these Pokemon are in play, even when Alan takes a knockout with his Talonflame, doesn't matter. Tiffany can just bench another Pokemon, accelerate a ton of energy to it, and then take another big knockout here. Colress and Versus Seeker are the two cards in hand here. Could do Colress, which makes a lot of sense, just draw a big 8 cards, but could maybe wait, hoping to Versus Seeker the boss's orders maybe. That could be what she's thinking about. Could boss up that Talonflame and get a big knockout on it, and that is looking like what might happen here. Yep, Talonflame's getting pulled up by the boss, and that Talonflame is going to get knocked out. Now, notably here, the Noctowl is still set up. It still has the double colorless energy on it, so Tiffany is going to, or Alan is going to get to knock out the Shining Genesect with the Noctowl, and then search his deck for 2 more cards again. Like, this is the kind of Noctowl. The Terra Noctowl can eat its heart out. That one only gets to search for 2 item cards. This Noctowl has searched for 6 of anything. So very, very, very wild here. So Featherball is coming down from Alan, allowing him to search his deck for any card that has no retreat cost. And notably, that is the Talonflame, but it is also the Aerodactyl. The Aerodactyl has no retreat cost. Very, very nice. So I'm going to get to set up the Aerodactyl as well. Very cool. And again, the De-Evolution Ray attack, I think, will be very relevant this game if Alan can get it off. And then big scoop up net, pulling the Pelipper back into the hand. He gets to re-bench the Wingull. So on his next turn, Alan's going to get to search for any supporter in his deck or discard pile here. So very, very nice. Rescue Stretcher is being played. And it's looking like Alan is just going to shuffle that Talonflame line back into his deck. Going to try to set it up on a future turn here. Judging by the fact he's put him face up, I imagine we might see, something like an Arven, allowing Alan to pull some very powerful cards, Arv out of his deck. I imagine we might be seeing something like a Buddy... Well, we've already seen the Buddy Poffin. Could see something like a Nest Ball, Quick Ball even, maybe. In terms of item card, we could see the Muscle Band, maybe even the Gravity Gemstone. That is a very cool inclusion that Alan has to try to increase the opponent's retreat cost so that the Talonflame can take that big knockout. But good news for him, doesn't look like he'll be needing to do much of that. Pretty much every Pokemon in Tiff's deck has that 2 retreat cost or more. So are going to see the Muscle Band here, are going to see that Fletching get out of the deck. And so Alan is once again starting to set up this board, just get his big conga line of attackers in formation and try to run away with the game here. That's a big thing here in Gym Leader Challenge, is just trying to make sure you always have your next attacker in the works, right? It is easy to come out to a quick lead in Gym Leader Challenge. It is very difficult to maintain that lead as the game goes on. So once again, we are going to see big knockout here from the Noctowl. Alan is going to go down to 4 prize cards and then gets to search his deck for any 2 cards again. Again, a big 6 cards here. So very, very nice for Alan. Definitely helps him in his pursuit of setting up those Pokemon. I imagine Talonflame Rare Candy. Like, that's what I would foresee here. But maybe it is an energy card, right? Could go evolve into Fletchinger plus attach an energy. Maybe even Fletchinger attach energy to the Aerodactyl. Try to use that De-Evolution Ray. Could even be something, there's just a literal infinite amount of options that Alan has access to. So Tiff is thinking about what Pokemon she wants to put up into the active spot here. Notably, the hand is Colress and Timer Ball. Timer Ball will help a little bit here. Can help get the what is it? The Rillaboom into play? No, the Rillaboom's already in play. Oh, the Torterra. Duh. Sorry. Brain fart there for a second. The Timer Ball can help get the Torterra into play, but notably can also just Sun Drenched Shell for the Torterra. I imagine we could even Sun Drenched Shell for the Zarude, which would be very nice as well. But we're not going to see the Timer Ball. Just going to see the Colress here, which is going to allow Tiff to draw a big 7 cards. Big 7 cards here. Seems like she did forget to take a prize last turn. Easy fix. No issues there. And let's see what the 7 looks like here. 4, 5, 6, and 7. I see some energy cards in the hand. I see there's an escape rope. I see Iono. Don't currently see another attacker here, but it is looking like Tiff is thinking about just attacking with the Rillaboom, and the Rillaboom's hammer in attack does do 140. That does knock out everything on Alan's side of the field, so that does definitely work out. Unfortunately, if the Rillaboom gets knocked out, won't have access to the voltage beat ability here, which is really important in getting all of these attackers set up. But hey, you still have voltage beat to use this turn, and 2 energy is going to come down onto the Torterra. Normally, you just need the 1 because of the Venusaur here, but notably, the Evo Press attack is only doing 100 damage, so getting to just hammer in for 160 is going to be really nice. Looks like definitely this is a hammer in type of game. The Torterra is going to hammer in, the Rillaboom's going to hammer in. Regular old pair of Mario Brothers here. Gonna see a big knockout on the Noctowl, and the Enhanced Hammer is grabbed off of the prizes here. That's gonna be really nice here, as most of the energy in Alan's deck is special energy. So there is a world here where Tiffany gets to go Enhanced Hammer, take a big energy off of, so like say this Aerodactyl, and then can like knock out the Dodrio here. We are gonna see Rare Candy Talonflame here. Talonflame not evolving from Wingull, but evolving from that Fletchinger, and then yeah, very nice for Alan here, is just once again just setting up all these Pokemon. And we know he still has access to the Hearsay Pelipper, so can search his deck or discard pile for any supporter, and there are a lot of good ones to pick from. Taking a quick thumb through the discard pile, probably checking what he's got access to. Guzma could be a good one here, because as much as knocking out the Rillaboom makes sense, knocking out the Venusaur seems really nice as well. But we are just going to start off with the zooming draw here. Notably, the Dodrio has 4 damage counters on it. 3, 6, 9, 120, 130, 150 with the powerful energy. So Dodrio is getting very close to being able to knock out these big stage 2 Pokemon. And I think that's what Alan's going to want to do, is just spin the whole game, draw on a couple cards with this Dodrio, and then wham, big knockout towards the end of the game here. And now Aerodactyl is being moved into the active. That U-turn board does give the Dodrio free retreat, and so gonna probably see that de-evolution ray, gonna put that Rillaboom back in the hand, and then knocking out the Thwackey, which notably only has 90 HP here. We are going to see Crispin be the supporter here, so get to see the basic energies in Alan's deck coming into play here. Bang, 2 basic energy, fire and water, coming into play. No, notably the 3 types of energy that Alan is playing doesn't really matter. He could have picked anything. A little sad he didn't pick fairy energy. I think that's always super duper cute here, but that's okay. Gonna see the fire energy coming down onto the Talonflame. We have already attached for turn to the Aerodactyl, so that water is gonna have to wait for the next turn. And then bang, big knockout on the Thwackey here. Alan's going to go down to 3 prize cards. Tiff is at 4, but it is still anybody's game. That Torterra is going to take a big knockout this turn. And notably, Torterra is just one of those Pokemon that's really difficult to knock out. 190 is just such a big number. The Dodrio is not going to be able to knock it out on the next turn, even with 5 damage counters on it. Now, the problem is that if this Venusaur gets knocked out, we do know that Alan has access to Guzma here. He could knock out the Venusaur, and then Torterra can only Evo Press for 50, which would not be very good at all. So maybe an attach for turn to the Torterra could make a lot of sense here. You can't bench that Rillaboom, unfortunately, but gotta try, right? I'm going to see the Ordinary Rod coming down. Going to shuffle back the Garuki, Thwackey, as well as a couple of grass energies into the deck here. Just kind of help refilling the deck here. So probably going to see the N coming down, I would imagine. N makes a lot of sense here. Because we just know that Alan's hand is so big, and he has been able to kind of selectively put all those cards into his hand with the Noctowl here. So this is what we like to see. Big Enhanced Hammer taking out the energy on the Dodrio. We'll see a big knockout on the Aerodactyl. So a lot of energy has just been removed from Alan's side of the board. Now, notably, the Crispin put the fire energy on the Talonflame. So it would have been nice to take an energy off of the Talonflame, but cannot do that, unfortunately. And lots of cards in Tiffany's hand. Unfortunately, none of them really do much of anything. You know, the Rillaboom ain't doing nothing. Couple Grass Energy's really nice. Super Rod's good for recovery, but we did just play that Ordinary Rod. Rare Candy ain't helping us much out either, so could Escape Rope into something else, but don't really want to give Alan access to another De-Evolution Ray on the following turn. So, yeah, we see Tiff shuffling up the deck here, so I imagine we're going to see that in coming down here. We could attach to the Torterra. I think attaching to the Torterra makes a lot of sense. Because if we can just keep Alan off of an energy, the Torterra won't be able to get knocked out by that Talonflame. That's really what we're scared of here, because Dodrio won't be able to knock out the Torterra. Definitely not the Pelipper, definitely not the Fanrotom. None of the basics in the deck are. So we just gotta hope and pray. You know, one of my favorite strategies in the game is INO pray, right? So if Alan's only going to 3, gonna draw to 4 for turn 5 with the Dodrio, and if he dodges an energy, we could be cooking with the Torterra here. Unfortunately, we see Gift Energy as well as Ultra Ball in the hand, so this Talonflame is going to get to attack next turn. Netball is going to get played by Tiff here. I love these type-specific cards. These are, to me, what GLC is all about. Netball allows you to search your deck for a Grass Energy or a basic Grass Pokemon here, so the Garuki is going to get grabbed off of that Netball. And notably, the Turffield Stadium is in the hand here. That's going to be very, very nice. That is going to allow Tiff to search her deck for any Grass Evolution card and put it into her hand. So could just go ahead and grab that Rillaboom, maybe Rare Candy into it. Would be a really nice follow-up here. Hey everybody, Cody from the future here. So Tiffany forgets to take her prize right here, and neither her, nor Alan, nor I caught it. Kind of unfortunate, but these things do happen. We did make sure to issue Bidoof a post-match warning for not attempting to correct the game state though. So sorry about that, y'all, but please enjoy the rest of the video. And we're going to see a big, could even be Evo Press. I do believe the Aerodactyl only has 100, so could have been anything, right? But that's okay. Going to go into the Dodrio. We're going to see Gift Energy come down onto the Talonflame. And then a big retreat into the Talonflame here. So, unfortunately, it is looking like this Torterra is going down here. And then big Marnie is going to put that hand at the bottom of the deck. Alan's going to get a big 5. Tiff will get a big 4 here. So good news, no player being put to really too small of a hand size here. And oof, big Field Blower is going to be knocking out that Turffield Stadium. So unfortunately, Tiff will not be able to set up that Grookey, at least not with the Stadium. Gotta hope she drew into something a little better for it. And Alan's thinking of anything else he wants to do here. Doesn't look like it. And big knockout on the Torterra. 220 damage from that Arrow Chase. And we're going to see a promotion of the Garuki here, and then a big draw for turn. Good news is the Venusaur is still in play here, so something like the Zarude could be an option here. And we're going to see Arvin. It's going to allow Tiff to take some cards. Arv out of the deck here. Rare Candy being one of them. Very nice. So we could be seeing the Thwackey here, provided that there is like an Ultra Ball, or maybe just the Rillaboom is in the hand anyway, right? And ooh, Wishful Baton. That's a very nice item card you don't see too much of here. I love the Wishful Baton. If the Pokemon that it is knocked out to, is attached to, is knocked out, you get to move 3 energy from that Pokemon to a benched Pokemon. So really helping you keep your attackers coming. You get to move that energy around. Very, very nice here. But actually thinking about grabbing the Float Stone here, that also makes a lot of sense. Getting to get this Grookey out of the active spot if you need to is going to be really nice. Or the Venusaur, right? If we evolve the Grookey into the Rillaboom, take a knockout, but then Alan's able to return a KO with the Dodrio, then we can slap that Float Stone on the Venusaur, and what would be the big 4 retreat could end up just being no retreat. Yep, and that's what we're going to see. And good news, we know the Field Blower has already been played. There is no risk of that Float Stone getting removed from play. And bang, big Rillaboom here off of the Rare Candy. So we are going to get to see the big Voltage Beat ability. 2 more grass energy being put onto the Rillaboom, which is in fact 4 thanks to the Venusaur. So we're going to see another big hammer in for knockout here. That's going to be the 3rd hammer in to take a knockout here. So Tiff is definitely swinging those hammers around here. Gift energy is going to trigger. That is going to allow Alan to draw 2 more cards. So now Alan's got a fresh hand of 7. He's going to draw up to 8. Going to get to zooming draw to 9. So just that's one of the things that the colorless deck really gets to do, is just draw so many cards thanks to all of its effects of cards, all of these great abilities here. And again, one of my favorite parts about the Dodrio is it's going to get to attack here at some point and take a big knockout. Right now it's doing 160 damage, which is, I do not believe that is enough to take out the Rillaboom. The Rillaboom is 170, I do believe. So Alan is going to need to find something a little more if he wants to take a knockout on the Rillaboom this turn. We see Quick Ball discarding Tag Call is going to happen. We have, we're going to see a basic Pokemon getting grabbed here, and I don't know quite what Alan has access to here. Maybe the Lugia could be a card that is being got here. I think that's what we see eyed up, because most of Alan's Pokemon are in the discard pile. We do know that the Noctowl is in the discard pile. We do know that the Aerodactyl is in the discard pile. The Talonflame is in the discard pile. And then everything else is kind of in play. The only 2 Pokemon, I think, are the Lugia, and I think Pelipper is still in the deck. I think those are the only 2 Pokemon that Alan has in the deck here. So Alan does need to find some of his recovery cards. He has already used the Super Rod, but he does still have access to Rescue Stretcher. And so, yep, gonna see the Lugia being grabbed off of the Quick Ball here. Now, good news is the Jungle Beat does work in Alan's favor. Arrow Ball does 20 for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. And right now, the Rillaboom has 4 energy attached to it. So if Alan can get... that's right, he played the Rescue Stretcher. We still have access to the Super Rod. My mistake, y'all. So, but notably, though, because there's 4 energy on the Rillaboom, 2 energy on the Lugia, that would be 6. That would be 120 damage. That's still not enough to knock out the Rillaboom, but it is pretty close here. Pretty close. So Alan's got some tough choices to make with this Super Rod. He could just, for the second time, put the Talonflame line back in the deck, and that's what it's looking like here. We see Fletchling Talonflame, so very clearly he is going to be relying on Rare Candy to try to set up that Talonflame for a 3rd time, and could just see a basic Pokemon here maybe. Unfortunately, can't really get the Aerodactyl back. There's no way to get the Fossil back into the deck. And nope, we're not going to see another Pokemon. Just going to see that Fire energy here. That is going to be very nice if Alan can try to get the Crispin back out of the deck with something like the Versus Seeker here, or Lusamine. Going to see the Guzmahala being played here. Makes a lot of sense why the Tag Call wasn't played first. Guzmahala already in the hand. And so we are going to get to see a Stadium, a Special Energy, as well as a Tool card. I believe the only Tool that is still in the deck is probably the Gravity Gemstone, I do believe. And then in terms of Stadium, it's going to probably be the Artisan. Special Energy, there's still lots of options, lots of double energy still in play. No, we still have access to the Parallel City. Haven't played Parallel City yet, so... That's right, we grabbed Parallel City off of the Colress's Tenacity, but we did not put it into play. That is right. And Muscle Band is still in the deck as well. Very, very nice. So those are some really good options here that is going to help in getting everything set up here. Capture Energy being the energy is a little interesting here. We are going to get the Fletchinger, so once again, trying to set up that Talonflame. But not really going to get to attack otherwise here. Like, we could put the Parallel City into play and then try to get 70 damage with the Svan Rotom. Just try to prep damage for a knockout here. Good news is Alan is up a prize card, so he has just like the tiniest bit of time to reset up, right? If he just passes here and Tiff takes a knockout, goes to two prizes, and then Alan is just able to chain 2 knockouts together, he will still win the game here. So really, Alan needs to miss for 2 turns in order for this game to run away from him. So he's not going to get a knockout this turn. He's just going to prep some damage on the Rillaboom here, which is going to be really nice. So going to get to do 70, making it where the Dodrio can knock out that Rillaboom, and then now maybe the Lugia can even knock out the Rillaboom, right? 6 energy is going to be 120. And that is enough to knock out the Rillaboom with the 70 damage from this assault landing from the fan Rotom. And again, I can't stress enough how much of a fan I am of these Pokemon that do double duty. I love that Rotom is both a consistency card as well as an attacker. I love that Dodrio is a draw Pokemon as well as an attacker. I just love it. It's so fantastic. Same thing over on Tiff's side. The fact that the Rillaboom is able to accelerate energy and then attack, right? It sets itself up. It's like, to me, that is kind of the oil you need to get your GLC machine running here. And we are going to see Avery, very nice, going to force Alan to get rid of a Pokemon. He's going to get rid of that Lugia, so very clear that he is relying on that Fletchinger, or the Talonflame, for one of his last 2 knockouts here. We are going to see Hisui and Heavy Ball, going to take a peek here. And I do believe that's probably the Zarude. Yeah, haven't seen the Zarude make an appearance all game. Gets to show up here at the end. And that is going to be nice because Tiff does need to take 3 prizes here. Are going to take one with the Rillaboom. Going to get to take one with the Zarude here. And the Wishful Baton. Very, very nice here. So now, when that Rillaboom is knocked out, 2 of those energies get moved over onto the Zarude, and the Zarude has that repeated whip attack. Again, it's another Hydro Pump style of attack. Does 20 damage for each grass energy attached to it. And because of the Wishful Baton, there might be 4 to 5 energy on this Zarude, so it could be doing as much as 160 damage. So that isn't going to be enough to knock out this Talonflame and try to win the game from there. See, the good news here for Alan, though, is that this Dodrio only needs a energy, and we do know that he has the capture energy in his hand, so can do capture energy, attack with the Dodrio, and as long as he can set up that Talonflame, all of these Pokemon in play. Oh no, big teammates for Alan. That might just be what Alan needs to win the game here. He can grab Rare Candy plus Talonflame, and then things are going to kind of be going his way. The Badoo is not super happy about the Talonflame either. Notably, the Bidoof is the first plushie that we've had on coverage here, so very excited for that. We always love the friends joining us at the table here. And then, so Alan's just searching his deck, gets to pick any 2 cards. I imagine it's going to be some way to get this Talonflame into play, some way to get to attack with this Dodrio. He is so close to sealing up this game. He just needs to find some combination of energy cards and then Rare Candy Talonflame here. So, he's very, very close here. Gonna maybe even need something like a Versus Seeker for Crispin would be really nice on the next turn. Could grab like Crispin Rare Candy, Crispin plus Talonflame, depending on what he has in his hand. And that could be a way to get ourselves set up here. That is going to be the hard part. Has to be a double energy on the Talonflame. Didn't quite catch what the 2 cards are. Hopefully I get to see them once they enter the hand here. Yep, going to be Fletchinger and then attach for turn here. So now, if there's a Versus Seeker, and I see there is a Versus Seeker in Alan's hand. So he is going to get to, once Tiff takes a knockout on the Dodrio, unless there's some kind of hand attack, he's just going to get to Versus Seeker, teammates, grab Talonflame plus the double turbo energy, maybe the twin energy. I'm not quite sure what all he has access to. And then he is just going to be able to win the game from there. So it is looking like it is going to be some kind of hand attack is what we need here to win this game. But then again, Tiff doesn't know that Alan has access to the Versus Seeker. So she might not feel the urgency to find the... Nope, yeah, Marnie. Big Marnie. This is the moment of truth here. What does Alan get off of this Marnie? The big thing here, though, Marnie is 4 cards. This isn't quite INO or in putting Alan to 1. Alan is going to get 4 cards here, plus a draw for turn to 5. So if Alan can find what he needs, he might just be able to win the game here. I see Artisan in the hand. I see there's another supporter in there, and I can't quite catch the other 2 cards here. I think that's a Bird Keeper in the second card. Not exactly sure, though. So, man, it is really coming down to the wire here. This Zarude gets to take a knockout on the Dodrio. And then, man, it is just going to coming down to what does Alan's hand look like? Can he get the Talonflame set up? If he does, the game is over. if he doesn't, Tiff is going to be able to do that. Really, she's going to get to a repeated whip for the second time, hence why it's called repeated whip, and then win the game. And it is crunch time. Alan's thinking that means he doesn't have it. If he's putting up this Wingull, that means he doesn't already have it. What is the draw for turn? Cynthia and Caitlin? That's not going to do it. I mean, it might. Drawing 3 cards could get him there, but I don't know. Artisan to thin the deck. We know it's not in there. Oh, but Artisan does allow him to shuffle the deck. We know the Versus Seeker is there at the bottom as well, but that's really hard. Maybe he had some double energies in his hand. Otherwise, we do know the Talonflame is pretty close to the top of the deck. So, gonna give it a bit of a shuffle here. I hope that was the correct decision, right? Randomizing the deck again, because we do know that all the cards in Alan's hand were at the bottom. So now they're all getting evenly dispersed here. And that deck is pretty thin here. So either Alan is going to try to play one of his supporter cards that draw him some cards, and we hope to find Talonflame plus energy plus, I don't know how we're getting this Wingull out of, oh, we have the U-turn board. Okay. So U-turn board can get the Wingull out of the active spot. And yeah, we're going to have to hope to maybe draw a couple of cards and just hope that we find one of our double energies plus the Talonflame. There's still a path to victory here for Alan. It is just really coming down to the wire here. We see he is eyeing up the Crispin at the top of the deck, or from the top of the discard pile. Could see something like a Versus Seeker or something similar. Looking over at Tiff's hand, we see that Guzma is in the hand here, so don't think any type of stall shenanigans are going to happen. No way to maybe get rid of this Float Stone and keep the Venusaur at the in the active. So if it gets back to Tiffany, she is going to be winning this game. So Alan has to win the game right now. So going to see the U-turn board come down to the Wingull. The Wingull does have free retreat. Alan is going for it. He is already retreating into the Fletchinger. Ooh, going to go for the Pelipper. Okay. Pelipper is going to allow him. He's searching his deck for a supporter card here. So, you know, we're close. We're almost there. We got to find 2 more pieces of the puzzle. We have to find Talonflame. We have to find a double energy, or we need to do something like a Super Rod Crispin. Man, it is really coming down to it. I don't quite have anything else to say other than I'm just on the edge of my seat trying to figure out how Alan can piece together a win here. Let's see. Man, it is tough. I'm taking a peek at what he's got in the deck. He's looking up the INO, but I mean, he might just be doing this just to get a card out of the deck. Raihan! Ooh, Raihan is very close. If Alan has an energy card in his hand, Raihan allows him to put an energy onto the Fletchinger, find the Talonflame, attach for turn. So, okay, that is a way to do it. That is very, very close here. Does he have it? No, he's just going to go Cynthia and Caitlin here. Going to get rid of the Gravity Gemstone, and he's going to be picking up the Crispin, and then he's going to draw 3 cards. Can he find what he needs? Versus Seeker, Energy Lotto, and I believe that's a Muscle Band. So that's not it. He's not going to get to do it. The Energy Lotto can find him the double energy, but he did not find the Talonflame. I don't think Alan's going to be able to put this together here now that he's played his supporter card. Like he can Fletchinger hit for a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the Talonflame is, I don't know if it's in there. He finds Counter Energy. Counter Energy isn't going to do it, even if he did find the Talonflame, because they are tied on prizes. So that Counter Energy is only going to provide the 1 here. So it's looking like we're probably just going to end up passing or doing some chip damage here. And the Zarude is going to get to repeated whip for knockout here. Wow, just a pass over to Tiffany. And we are going to see that Zarude take the big knockout for game. Very, very nice. Excellent game. That one was an absolute nail biter. GG's all around here. Wow. And what a great way to end our February 2025 Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. Big thanks again to Lone Star Pack Breaks for sponsoring the tournament, being so kind, and providing prizing to us. And with that, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. and then leave me a comment. What was your favorite matchup from the February Gym Leader Challenge tournament? And don't forget to tune in next time where we will have our March Gym Leader Challenge tournament for the Comeback Mechanics. My name is Cody Hope, and I'm going to be signing out.